Hi everyone, welcome back to a new Roblox story. This time I found this story on Reddit and is about grow a garden on Roblox. As always, not all of our stories are based on true events, but some are. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the story, if you dare. Before we start the story, Luke and Chikani Nuggety, thanks to you all for watching our podcast. Oliver had been playing Grow a Garden on Roblox for 3 months now. His username, Ollie1, had become well known among his friends for having the most beautiful virtual garden on the platform. Every day after school, he would log into his private server and tend to his digital paradise, a perfect escape from homework and chores. It was a quiet Thursday evening when everything changed. Oliver was casually playing on his private server, arranging some new flower beds, when he noticed something impossible. The player count had switched from 1 to 2. Someone had joined his server. That shouldn't have been possible. This was his private server, completely locked to outsiders. Oliver quickly checked his friends list, but none of his friends were online. A chill ran down his spine as he spotted the unfamiliar player standing motionless in his virtual garden. The stranger's avatar was unsettling. All black clothes, pale skin, and empty dark eyes that seemed to stare directly through the screen. The username read simply, Lost Friend 77. Confused and a bit annoyed, Oliver typed in the chat, "Hi, how did you get in here? This is a private server." Several long minutes passed in complete silence. The stranger's avatar didn't move, didn't respond. Oliver was about to kick the player from his server when a message finally appeared in the chat. "I'm searching for my lost friend." The words made Oliver uncomfortable. He typed back quickly, "Well, he's not here. It's just us two in my private server." Another agonizing pause. Oliver watched nervously as the stranger's avatar slowly turned to face him directly. Then another message appeared. "Yes, I know. But my friend disappeared in real life a couple of days ago. I had a dream, or maybe it was a nightmare, where I found him buried. I had to search for Ollie1 on Roblox because you were there in my dream, and it was in your garden where he was buried." Oliver stared at his screen in disbelief. This had to be some kind of internet troll, right? People said crazy things online all the time just to get reactions. He typed back, "I know it sounds insane," came the desperate reply. "But I just need to know, can you have a look in your garden? Your real garden? I just need to know if my dream was true or not." "Why would your friend be in my garden?" Oliver typed, though his voice trembled slightly as he whispered the words to his empty room. "I don't know. It sounds weird, but I just have to know, please." Something about the raw desperation in those words made Oliver pause. The stranger wasn't trying to be funny or scary, just genuinely, deeply worried about his missing friend. Against his better judgment, Oliver found himself curious. "Fine," he typed. "I'll check, but this is really strange." Oliver minimized the game window and walked to his bedroom window that overlooked the backyard. Outside, heavy rain was beginning to fall and the evening sky was growing dark. He squinted through the glass at their family's garden. His heart nearly stopped. Their backyard had always been Oliver's mother's pride and joy, a beautiful stretch of perfect green grass surrounded by flower beds. But now, in the center of that pristine lawn, there was a clearly disturbed patch of earth. The grass had been dug up and hastily replaced, leaving an obvious rectangle of muddy, uneven ground. Oliver's hands shook as he stared out the window. The rain was getting heavier, turning the disturbed soil into dark, muddy patches. When had this happened? The lawn had been perfect just yesterday when he'd helped his dad with yard work. He rushed back to his computer and typed with trembling fingers, There's disturbed ground in my backyard. Like someone dug a hole and covered it back up." The response came immediately. "Really? So my dream was true?" "I don't know," Oliver typed back, his mind racing with possibilities. None of them made sense. This is impossible. How could you know about my backyard? Could you dig there, please? I need to know for sure if my friend is there. Oliver hesitated, staring at the message on his screen. Part of him wanted to close the game and pretend this conversation never happened, but the growing dread in his stomach and his own terrible curiosity kept him frozen in place. I don't know, he typed. This is really freaking me out. Please, I'm begging you. If my friend is really there, his family deserves to know what happened to him. Something about those words, the mention of the missing person's family, made Oliver's decision for him. If there was even a small chance that someone was actually buried in his backyard, he had to know. Okay, he typed. Give me a few minutes. Oliver grabbed a flashlight and his father's shovel from the garage. The rain soaked through his clothes within seconds as he made his way to the disturbed patch of ground. Up close, it was even more obvious that someone had been digging here recently. The soil was loose and darker than the surrounding earth. His hands shaking from cold and fear, Oliver began to dig. The first few shovelfuls revealed nothing but wet dirt and earthworms. But as he dug deeper, about 2 feet down, his shovel hit something that didn't feel like soil or rock. Oliver's heart pounded as he cleared away more dirt with his hands. In the beam of his flashlight, something pale emerged from the dark earth. It was a human hand. Oliver stumbled backward, dropping his flashlight. The beam flickered across the partially exposed hand, pale fingers with dirt under the fingernails, completely still and lifeless. This was real. This was actually real. He ran inside, tracking mud across the kitchen floor, and found his parents in the living room watching TV. "Mom! Dad!" Oliver's voice came out as a terrified shout. "You need to call the police right now." His parents looked up in alarm at their son's muddy, panicked appearance. "Oliver, what's wrong? What happened?" his mother asked, standing up immediately. There's someone buried in our backyard. A dead person. I found a hand." His father stood up slowly. "What are you talking about?" "I was digging in the backyard, and I found a human hand buried in the ground. We need to call 911 right now." Something in Oliver's voice, the raw terror and certainty, convinced his parents that this wasn't a joke or his imagination. His mother immediately grabbed her phone and dialed 911, while his father followed Oliver to the back door. Under the porch light, they could clearly see the hole Oliver had been digging and the disturbed ground surrounding it. "Jesus Christ," his father whispered. The police arrived within 15 minutes. Officer Martinez listened to Oliver's story with growing concern, and when he saw the partially excavated hand in the backyard, he immediately called for the crime scene unit and the coroner. "Son," Officer Martinez said gently, "I need you to tell me exactly how you knew to dig here." Oliver hesitated. How could he explain about the stranger in his Roblox game without sounding completely insane? Someone told me online that their friend might be buried here," Oliver said carefully. "I thought they were just being weird, but then I saw the disturbed ground and the excavation took most of the night." Oliver watched from his bedroom window as police officers and forensic investigators carefully removed dirt from his family's backyard under portable floodlights. At 3:22 a.m., they had uncovered the entire body. The victim was identified as Marcus Rivera, a 19-year-old college student who had been reported missing 6 days earlier. The investigation revealed that Marcus had been murdered by his roommate over a dispute about money. The roommate, desperate to hide the body, had chosen what he thought was an empty lot behind an abandoned house to bury Marcus. He had no idea that the abandoned house was actually Oliver's family home, or that a teenage boy would somehow be led directly to the burial site. The roommate was arrested the next morning and confessed to the crime, but he could never explain how Oliver had known where to look. The case made local news. Teen discovers murder victim in family's backyard. Oliver never told the reporters about lost friend 77. When he finally logged back into Roblox 2 days later, his private server was empty. There was no record of the stranger ever being there. No chat logs, no visitor history, nothing. But Oliver's computer still displayed one final message in the chat window that he knew he hadn't typed. "Thank you for finding him. His family can rest now." Oliver closed the game and never played Grow a Garden again. Some mysteries, he decided, were too terrifying to understand.